Have you ever wondered why some people seem to draw success, opportunity, and influence effortlessly, as if the universe itself bends to their will? What if I told you that the secret does not lie in luck, charm, or circumstance, but in the invisible architecture of thought, the silent, unyielding laws that govern the mind? Your mind is not a passive vessel. It is a magnet, and what it attracts depends entirely on what it contains, what it believes, and how it is disciplined. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul is disturbed only by the impressions it allows. Seneca warned that the mind, if surrendered to vice, fear, or indecision, attracts nothing but chaos and frustration. Napoleon Hill, centuries later, revealed the mechanics of this principle. The subconscious mind obeys the impressions impressed upon it, magnetizing circumstances, people, and opportunity in alignment with desire, belief, and clarity. The fusion is profound. Thought, disciplined and aligned, does not merely guide action, it draws reality itself. Every thought you entertain, every image you repeatedly visualize, every emotion you cultivate becomes a signal, a frequency sent into the universe. Fear, doubt, resentment, and distraction are magnets for more of the same: scarcity, delay, and misfortune. Gratitude, clarity, focus, and purpose are magnets for opportunity, influence, and abundance. The mind attracts in proportion to its concentration, intensity, and discipline. But attraction is not automatic. It requires law, practice, and unwavering control. Definite purpose acts as the pole of the magnet. Desire acts as the energy field. Emotional discipline acts as the stabilizer. Visualization aligns the charge. Without clarity, the magnet sputters, weak and ineffective. Without emotional control, it attracts chaos instead of order. Without repeated, intentional focus, the subconscious becomes a sieve, scattering energy into distractions. The extraordinary understand this principle intuitively. The mind, disciplined and concentrated, becomes unstoppable, drawing opportunity, wealth, influence, and results as naturally as a magnet draws iron. Consider the ordinary mind, drifting, reactive, untrained. It entertains fleeting whims, succumbs to fear, obsesses over what cannot be controlled, and allows every trivial impression to shape its trajectory. Its magnet is weak, its energy scattered, its power invisible. Fortune, circumstance, and success slip past, unnoticed or misunderstood. The extraordinary, in contrast, cultivate thought as a sacred instrument. Every mental impression is deliberate, intentional, and charged with purpose. Momentum builds invisibly. Opportunity aligns, circumstances bend, influence expands. The Stoics emphasized internal sovereignty. Control the mind, control the impressions, control the response, and the world responds. Hill explained the mechanics. Impress desire upon the subconscious with clarity, intensity, and emotional conviction, and the universe, composed of people, resources, and opportunity, aligns to it. Together they form a law. Your mind is a magnet. It attracts what it is prepared to receive, disciplined to accept, and focused to manifest. The early hours magnify this principle. Silence sharpens focus. Calm amplifies clarity. The mind is most receptive, most potent, most capable of imprinting the subconscious with deliberate impressions. Here, visualization is not fantasy, it is programming. Gratitude is not ritual, it is alignment. Emotional control is not denial, it is calibration. The magnet is charged, the field is strengthened. The law becomes active, responsive, and unstoppable. What you feed your mind, the images you dwell upon, the feelings you cultivate, the intentions you impress, all of it becomes energy. This energy is magnetic, attracting circumstances, people, and results in direct proportion to clarity, intensity, and discipline. The weak mind, distracted, scattered, and reactive, becomes a magnet for misfortune, chaos, and delay. The disciplined mind, deliberate, controlled, and aligned, becomes a magnet for opportunity, growth, and influence. This is the invisible law of attraction grounded in reason, psychology, and timeless philosophy. To ignore this is to surrender power. To cultivate it is to command life. Your thoughts are not idle, they are forces. Your emotions are not incidental, they are charges. Your focus is not trivial, it is the directive of reality itself. To master this magnet is to master your destiny, to shape circumstance, and to draw the life that aligns with vision, purpose, and discipline. The mind, when disciplined, is not merely receptive, it is directive. It issues signals that ripple through reality, imperceptible yet undeniable, attracting circumstances, people, and opportunities in alignment with its charge. Napoleon Hill called this the law of the subconscious. What the mind believes, it commands. The Stoics call it the governance of impressions. What the soul accepts, it shapes. Together, these truths reveal a singular law of mastery. The mind attracts in proportion to its clarity, intensity, and discipline. Every thought is a seed, every feeling is a current, every repeated image a blueprint. The untrained mind scatters seeds carelessly, allowing weeds of doubt, fear, and distraction to take root. The disciplined mind plants deliberately, irrigates consistently, and protects fiercely, cultivating an invisible garden that blooms into reality. Your mind's magnetism is proportional to the energy you invest in its impressions. The stronger, clearer, and more focused the charge, the more powerful its pull on reality becomes. Emotional control is the linchpin. The universe responds not only to thought, but to the emotional energy underpinning it. Fear attracts limitation, resentment attracts resistance, impatience attracts chaos, gratitude, clarity, confidence, and calm attract opportunity, insight, influence, and abundance. The Stoics remind us that emotion must be disciplined, reason must prevail, and impressions must be intentional. Hill adds that repeated, emotionally charged visualization programs the subconscious to act with precision. The fusion is simple, yet profound. Thought plus controlled emotion equals magnetic power. Visualization is the active field of this magnet. Imagine, with clarity, the results you wish to manifest. Imprint every detail on the subconscious as if it has already occurred. Feel the emotions, the satisfaction, the mastery, as though reality has aligned with your intention. The Stoics would call this premeditation of virtue, rehearsing action, preparing for circumstance, and aligning the mind with what is within control. Hill would call it applied faith, belief made tangible through repeated, energized focus. Together they charge the magnet and prepare it to attract with irresistible force. The ordinary mind drifts, reacting to circumstance rather than directing it. The extraordinary cultivates an internal field of attraction, impervious to distraction, resistant to fear, and aligned with purpose. Every image impressed, every emotion disciplined, every thought focused, strengthens the magnetic pull. Over time, what was once invisible begins to manifest. Opportunities arise, people respond, doors open, and circumstances bend. The mind, disciplined and charged, does not wait for fortune, it draws it. Concentration is the amplifier of this law. Hill emphasized the power of focused thought. Scattered attention weakens the magnet. Concentrated energy strengthens it. The Stoics emphasize focus as the path to virtue. The mind that rules impressions rules life. Together, they reveal the mechanism of attraction, sustained, intentional thought, disciplined emotion, and clear purpose combine to shape reality. The mind is a magnet, and you are its engineer. The early hours are the crucible of this power. Silence sharpens the signal. Calm strengthens the field. The body is rested, the mind is alert, and the soul is undistracted. Here, visualization becomes programming, emotional control becomes energy, and thought becomes motion. What is impressed in these hours compounds invisibly, attracting outcomes aligned with purpose, discipline, and clarity. The magnet is strongest before the chaos of the day intrudes. Every interaction, every decision, every perception is filtered through this magnetic law. If your mind is charged with fear, doubt, and resentment, your life will reflect scarcity, obstacles, and conflict. If your mind is charged with clarity, focus, and disciplined desire, your life will reflect opportunity, influence, and abundance. The law is impartial, universal, and inevitable. The mind attracts according to its internal state. The Stoics call this internal sovereignty. Hill calls it applied faith. Together they reveal the invisible mechanism of attraction. Discipline is non-negotiable. The magnet weakens without practice, falters without repetition, and fails without emotional calibration. Each thought must be deliberate, each image must be clear, each feeling must be controlled. Chaos enters through neglect, doubt through distraction, and fear through indulgence. To master the mind as a magnet is to master attention, intention, and energy simultaneously. It is to become the architect of your life, bending reality toward your purpose with precision, inevitability, and calm. Your mind, when disciplined and aligned, does not merely attract what you desire, it repels what you do not. Negative circumstances, toxic influence, and unwanted outcomes are filtered, diminished, and avoided. The Stoics called this living in accordance with nature, aligning internal impression with external reality. Hill called it autosuggestion, impressing the mind with the desired and excluding the unwanted. The fusion produces a magnet not only of attraction, but of discernment, clarity, and sovereignty. The mind that attracts is not idle. It does not merely hope, wish, or dream. It commands, focuses, and programs itself with relentless precision. Every thought is energy. Every feeling is a charge. Every repeated image is an imprint upon the subconscious. Napoleon Hill called this the law of autosuggestion, the power to impress the subconscious mind with vivid, emotionally charged images of desire. The Stoics would recognize it as disciplined premeditation, rehearsing, imagining, and accepting reality as it must be met, all while maintaining calm control. Together, they reveal a hidden law. Your thoughts are magnets, and what you consistently feed them determines what life delivers. Ordinary minds scatter energy across distraction, doubt, and fear. They allow fleeting impressions, gossip, failure, worry, to dictate vibration. Their magnet is weak, their pull uncertain. Fortune slips past unseen, opportunity evaporates unnoticed, and life unfolds chaotically. But the extraordinary are deliberate. Every impression is chosen, every thought harnessed, every emotion tempered. The mind becomes a field of energy, precisely calibrated, unshakable, and irresistible. They do not attract randomness, they attract alignment, abundance, and influence. Emotional discipline is the linchpin of this magnetic law. The Stoics taught that impressions control the soul only if they are allowed. They emphasized mastery over feelings, understanding that calm rationality converts internal energy into external results. Hill's teachings complement this. Emotion is power, and when paired with clarity, concentration, and desire, it programs the subconscious to attract outcomes as surely as a magnet draws iron. Fear repels, gratitude attracts, despair scatters energy, confidence aligns it. The mind, disciplined, becomes a force of inevitability. Visualization is not mere fantasy, it is architecture. Every image impressed with intensity, every scenario imagined with feeling, every outcome rehearsed with faith, programs the subconscious with an invisible blueprint. The Stoics would recognize it as mental rehearsal for virtue and resilience. Hill would recognize it as the engine of manifestation. Together, they reveal a terrifyingly effective truth. The mind attracts what it rehearses consistently and repels what it ignores or fears. Your subconscious does not differentiate between imagination and reality. It obeys the signal you give it, unflinchingly, invisibly, powerfully. The early hours are sacred in this practice. The world is asleep, distraction is minimal, and the mind is calm. Here, impressions are most potent. Here, visualization programs reality. Here, emotional energy can be calibrated and amplified without interference. Each repeated image of success, each consciously held feeling of confidence, each disciplined thought strengthens the magnetic field. What begins in the silence of these hours ripples outward, attracting opportunity, aligning circumstances, and drawing the elements of success to meet the disciplined mind. The extraordinary understand the invisible power of alignment. They do not chase outcomes, they attract them. Their magnet is invisible, yet unbreakable. Their energy is precise, their focus relentless, their emotions disciplined. Fear and doubt exist but are contained, observed, and redirected. Their attention is the signal, their belief is the field, their emotion is the charge, and their visualization is the blueprint. Together, these forces magnetize reality, bending it toward their purpose, creating influence, opportunity, and results that the ordinary cannot perceive, let alone access. Every thought, every repetition, every consciously maintained image strengthens this field. The mind becomes a sieve that allows only aligned impressions to enter, filtering out chaos, distraction, and negativity. The Stoics called this the art of control. Hill called it applied autosuggestion. The fusion is irresistible, a magnet that draws success, repels misfortune, and commands attention, opportunity, and influence with quiet inevitability. The ordinary drift, the extraordinary attract. To master this is to master reality. Every action, decision, and interaction is influenced by the energy impressed upon the subconscious. Fear, anger, resentment, and distraction weaken it. Gratitude, clarity, focus, and confidence strengthen it. Every habit, every repeated thought, every reinforced emotion becomes part of the field of attraction. Momentum builds invisibly, opportunity aligns. The world bends not to chance, but to disciplined thought, aligned emotion, and precise visualization. The mind that is a magnet does not require external validation or stimulus. Its attraction is invisible yet irresistible. Circumstances, people, and results respond naturally. Energy flows toward it. Obstacles diminish. Challenges become opportunities. Influence becomes automatic. Fortune aligns with precision. This is the law Hill described, grounded in faith, desire, and autosuggestion, refined by Stoic discipline, control, and rational alignment. Your thoughts are the pole, your emotion is the charge, your visualization is the field. What you magnetize is determined entirely by how you maintain this internal law. The extraordinary D does not drift. It is anchored in purpose, sharpened by discipline, and charged by intention. Every thought, every emotion, every visualization becomes a conductor of energy. Napoleon Hill revealed the mechanics. The subconscious mind obeys the impressions impressed upon it, translating mental energy into magnetic reality. The Stoics revealed the discipline. Impressions must be chosen deliberately, emotions must be contained, and the mind must remain sovereign over circumstance. Together, they form a law so subtle that most never notice it, yet so powerful that it determines life itself. Your mind is a magnet. The magnet is shaped by concentration. Hill emphasized focus with intensity, the deliberate rehearsal of desire, and the emotional investment of belief. The Stoics emphasized mastery of impressions, the avoidance of reactive thought, and the cultivation of calm reason. When fused, these principles produce a force invisible yet tangible. Your mind radiates energy aligned with your purpose, attracting circumstances, people, and opportunities with unerring consistency. Momentum builds quietly, invisibly, but with unstoppable inevitability. Think of the ordinary mind, scattered, reactive, distracted, and untrained. Its magnet is weak, its energy diffused, its influence negligible. It attracts chaos, limitation, and misfortune. Fortune slips past unseen. Opportunity fades unnoticed. The mind's power dissipates, wasted in indecision, fear, and distraction. The extraordinary mind, in contrast, is deliberate, disciplined, and aligned. Its magnet is strong, its charge is focused. Its field extends far beyond perception, bending reality to match purpose, desire, and intensity. Visualization is the crucible of this magnetism. Hill instructed repetition, clarity, and emotional intensity. Imagine the desired result, feel it as reality, repeat it until the subconscious accepts it as inevitable. The Stoics instruct premeditation, foresee challenges, rehearse virtue, and remain calm in the face of circumstance. Together, they allow the mind not only to attract what it desires, but to repel what is contrary to purpose. The magnet is selective, precise, and unstoppable. The early hours of the day magnify this principle. Silence sharpens, calm amplifies, and energy is undisturbed. This is when visualization, emotional calibration, and focused thought have maximum effect. The subconscious absorbs these impressions as if they are immutable law. The energy radiates outward, imperceptible yet unstoppable, attracting circumstances, people, and results aligned with clarity, purpose, and disciplined intention. Momentum compounds, opportunity aligns, reality conforms. Emotional control is the linchpin. Fear, doubt, resentment, and distraction scatter energy and weaken the field. Gratitude, confidence, focus, and calm strengthen it. The Stoics teach that impressions control the soul only when allowed. Hill teaches that emotion is power and must be applied with intensity to program the subconscious. Together they reveal the formula of magnetic influence, disciplined thought, calibrated emotion, and deliberate visualization. Master these, and life aligns with your intention as naturally as iron is drawn to a magnet. Every interaction, decision, and circumstance is filtered through this invisible law. Ordinary minds respond chaotically. Extraordinary minds attract deliberately. Energy follows intention. Opportunity aligns with preparation, and people respond to the signal your mind emits. Discipline ensures the field is strong. Repetition ensures it is permanent. Clarity ensures it is precise. And as this internal magnet strengthens, the world outside adjusts in response, bending toward alignment with your internal law. Consider the consequences of neglect. A distracted mind attracts chaos. An undisciplined mind attracts conflict. A scattered mind attracts failure. Fortune, opportunity, and influence drift past like wind through an open window. The law of attraction, disciplined and harnessed, is invisible but exact. The mind that is a magnet, focused, controlled, and charged with intention, commands reality, while the ordinary drift in its wake. Every deliberate thought reinforces the field. Every controlled emotion strengthens the charge. Every repeated visualization amplifies the pull. Obstacles diminish. Opportunity becomes visible. Influence becomes natural. Fortune aligns. The universe responds to energy expressed deliberately, not randomly. Hill's applied faith, when fused with Stoic discipline, becomes magnetic law. Your mind attracts in proportion to the clarity, intensity, and sovereignty you cultivate. The extraordinary live consciously, deliberately, and magnetically. They understand that thought is energy, emotion is power, and visualization is the blueprint of reality. Their minds are magnets, impervious to distraction, impervious to chaos, aligned with purpose, and charged with intention. Ordinary lives drift, invisible and unnoticed. Extraordinary lives attract, command, and shape reality with invisible, irresistible precision. The mind that attracts does not wait. It moves before the world demands it, thinks before distraction interferes, and aligns before chaos appears. Hill called it applied faith, the subconscious programmed with clarity, desire, and repetition. The Stoics called it discipline, impressions chosen, emotions contained, reason governing every response. Together, they reveal a law invisible yet unbreakable. Your mind, disciplined and aligned, magnetizes reality in accordance with its internal state. Ordinary minds drift like leaves on a stormy river, pushed by circumstance, influenced by fear, pulled by distraction. They react, they worry, they lament. Their magnet is weak, sporadic, inconsistent. They attract what is random, misaligned, and transient. The extraordinary, however, are deliberate. Every thought is purposeful. Every emotion is calibrated. Every visualization is repeated. Their magnet is unyielding, invisible, yet unstoppable. Opportunity, wealth, influence, and alignment converge toward them naturally, inevitably, and without apparent effort. The law requires patience and discipline. A single thought, even charged with emotion, is not sufficient. Repetition ingrains it. Intensity magnifies it. Consistency programs it into the subconscious. The Stoics understood the power of repeated practice. Habit shapes character, character shapes destiny. Hill understood the mechanics, repetition of desire, and visualization programs reality itself. Together, they form the invisible engine behind attraction. The mind, disciplined, aligned, and magnetic, bending circumstances to will. Early mornings amplify this process. The world sleeps, distraction is minimal, and the mind is most receptive. Visualization becomes programming. Emotional energy is strongest. Thoughts impressed in these hours compound invisibly, creating alignment before the day even begins. Opportunity begins to flow. Influence becomes perceptible, and circumstances conspire to meet preparation. The mind, disciplined and deliberate, becomes a magnet that draws results as surely as iron is drawn to a lodestone. Emotional control is the cornerstone. The magnet fails without it. Fear, doubt, resentment, and distraction weaken the field, scatter energy, and repel opportunity. Gratitude, calm, confidence, and clarity strengthen it, charge it, and align it. The Stoics recognized that mastery over impressions is mastery over life. Hill recognized that applied emotion programs the subconscious to act. Together, they form a law of attraction grounded in psychology, philosophy, and discipline. The mind is a magnet, and your internal state determines what it attracts. Consider the ordinary who neglect this law. Their thoughts wander, emotions fluctuate, and energy dissipates. They attract misfortune, conflict, scarcity, and delay. They remain reactive, powerless, and unnoticed. But the extraordinary who deliberately discipline thought, focus emotion, and visualize results with intensity attract alignment, wealth, influence, and opportunity. Their magnet is precise, their field is strong, and their reality conforms to the internal law they obey. Momentum builds invisibly, silently, and relentlessly. Even imperceptible thoughts matter. The subconscious records every impression, every emotion, every repeated image. Neglect is costly. Discipline is essential. Gratitude, Clary, thank you, focus, and intentional visualization amplify the magnetic field. The mind becomes selective, attracting only what aligns with purpose and repelling what does not. This is not theory. It is law, unbroken, exact, and inevitable. Hill called it the principle of autosuggestion. The Stoics called it mastery of impressions. Together, they produce magnetic power. Momentum compounds invisibly. One deliberate thought leads to another. One controlled emotion strengthens the charge. One repeated visualization programs the subconscious. The ordinary drift, reactive and scattered, receiving only what chance delivers. The extraordinary attract commanding results, bending circumstances, drawing people and opportunity as if reality itself is responding to a signal they transmit invisibly, relentlessly, and irresistibly. The magnet grows stronger over time. Each morning reinforces it. Each repetition compounds it. Each controlled thought, disciplined emotion, and clear visualization aligns it. Opportunity becomes visible. Influence becomes natural. Fortune flows. Circumstance bends. Life responds to the energy expressed, not the energy imagined. Hill and the Stoics reveal the same truth. Discipline, clarity, and alignment magnetize reality. Distraction, fear, and chaos repel it. The choice is immutable, invisible, and entirely yours. Now the moment approaches to translate understanding into transformation. The field you cultivate within, the energy you charge, and the alignment you maintain will determine what life delivers. The ordinary will continue to drift, reactive, unnoticed, and unmagnetized. The extraordinary will move deliberately, visualize intensely, control emotion, and align thought. The magnet becomes irresistible. Circumstances, opportunity, influence, and abundance flow naturally, inevitably, and with precision. The moment of mastery arrives not in contemplation, but in deliberate, disciplined action. Your mind, trained as a magnet, is no longer passive. It is directive, commanding the energy around you, shaping circumstances, attracting opportunity, and bending reality in accordance with intention. Napoleon Hill called it applied faith, desire impressed upon the subconscious with clarity, emotion, and repetition. The Stoics called it sovereignty over impressions, mastery of thought, emotion, and focus, regardless of circumstance. Together, they reveal a truth invisible yet undeniable. Your mind is a magnet, and what it draws depends entirely on what you cultivate, charge, and align. Every hesitation is wasted energy. Every scattered thought is a missed signal. Every indulgence in fear, doubt, or resentment weakens the field. The ordinary drift, reactive, unnoticed, and unmagnetized. The extraordinary move deliberately, imagining intensely, feeling deeply yet controlled, and aligning every thought with purpose. Momentum builds invisibly, but powerfully. Opportunity begins to manifest. Influence becomes tangible. Fortune aligns. Circumstances bend. Your mind does not merely respond, it commands. Visualization is the language of attraction. See it, feel it, live it mentally until the subconscious accepts it as reality. Every repeated emotionally charged image programs your mind to magnetize what aligns with your desire. The Stoics teach that impressions shape reality only if allowed. Discipline ensures they are chosen deliberately, not absorbed passively. Hill teaches that emotion fuels magnetic force. Without it, the signal dissipates. Together, they form a law of irresistible influence. Clarity, repetition, and emotional calibration attract what is aligned and repel what is not. Early hours magnify this power. Silence sharpens clarity. Calm intensifies energy. The world asleep, the mind alert, the body rested. The subconscious becomes the crucible of alignment. Every thought impressed, every image visualized, every feeling disciplined, strengthens the invisible field. Momentum compounds, the extraordinary rise while the ordinary linger. Fortune follows energy expressed deliberately, opportunity aligns with preparation, and influence becomes unavoidable. The law is impartial. It does not favor talent, luck, or circumstance. It favors discipline, clarity, and alignment. Your internal state determines your external reality. Fear, doubt, distraction, and chaos weaken the magnet. Focused thought, disciplined emotion, and repeated, intentional visualizations strengthen it. The extraordinary understand this. They do not wait for luck. They do not beg opportunity. They command life itself with a mind disciplined, calibrated, and charged. Your magnet grows with consistency. Every deliberate thought, every controlled emotion, every repeated visualization amplifies its field. Obstacles diminish. Opportunity becomes visible. Influence manifests naturally. The universe responds to your energy, not your idle thoughts. The ordinary remain invisible. The extraordinary attract. The choice is yours, absolute and immediate. And now the time is here. Charge your thoughts with clarity. Align your emotions with discipline. Visualize relentlessly. Let every impression be intentional, every feeling deliberate, every image repeated. Let fear be neutralized, doubt dissipated, distraction eliminated. The magnet you cultivate within will attract the life, influence, abundance, and opportunity aligned with your purpose. The law is unyielding. The results are inevitable. The power is yours. Rise, focus, visualize, align, command. Let your mind draw what is deserved. Let your energy magnetize opportunity. Let your discipline repel chaos. Let your clarity attract influence. Your mind is a magnet. Activate it, strengthen it, charge it. The world will respond. The universe will align. Life will bend. Do not hesitate. Do not wait. Move deliberately, feel intensely but controlled, visualize with clarity, impress the subconscious, command the field. Your mind is a magnet, and what you choose to cultivate now, with discipline, precision, and intensity, will determine what life brings to you forever. The extraordinary do not wait, they attract. Be extraordinary. Activate your mind. Command reality. Transform your life.